posted as required. I'm gonna start over. Good morning. It's 10 o'clock. Call this meeting of the City of Port Lavaca Port Commission to order and state that the agenda was posted properly according to the Texas Open Meetings Act. And just for recording purposes, I want to state that we have a quorum for the Port Commission. With us, we have Larry Nichols, Sue Trailer, Jerry Smith, Raymond Butler, Aurelia Munoz, and Jim Ward, and also Jamie O'Neill. We have the city manager, Jody Weaver, with us, and our city harbor master and other duties, Jimbo Rudelot. We also have the city accountant with us, Brittany. Anybody else that I missed? All right, so with that, we'll proceed to attack the agenda. And any comments from the public? We have any people on by recording?
No one on.
Jody? Any comments from the gallery? You're welcome if you have a comment. Okay, we're gonna move on. Approval of the minutes from the June 17 regular Port Commission meeting. Everybody had a chance to look at those?
Would they be approved?
Okay. Need a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Larry and Sue, Trailer moved and Larry Nichols seconded the motion to accept the minutes of the June 17 meeting. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Aye. Any opposed? Unopposed, motion passes. All right, I'm gonna receive the harbor master's maintenance report. Jimbo, do you have any thoughts, comments, otherwise?
No, not really. Been kind of working on the marina building decks, things of that. Thanks for cleaning up for this, doing it on the deck dance that's coming up this next month.
Okay. Anybody have any comments? All right, thank you for that. We'll move on to the next item. And let's see. Discuss the draft tariff circular.
For the inspection.
Oh, that's right. Thank you so much. Aurelia just corrected me. We got to take action on the harbor master's report. I need a motion.
Move that we accept the harbor master's inspection report.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. Jerry Smith moved and Jimmy O'Neill seconded the motion to accept the master's report. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Motion passes. And next, we have a lot of paper. The next item, item 6, is to discuss the draft circular for the tariff.
Well, can we go, or we skip in, the next would be the reports. The financial reports.
Where am I?
Did you get a misprint? Page 2. Item 3, reports.
Whoops.
Oh, there you go. You skipped a page. There you go.
Hey, y'all got to keep me on track, okay? Thank you
All
for
right.
that. Sorry about it. All right, so Ms. Brittany, financial reports.
Morning.
What are you riding back there?
Okay, so with the tariff report, I have nothing new to note. There's still decreases happening. I've researched a little bit. I really think it's just a lot to do with the way that the upper government's happening right now.
Really?
I think so. So I don't have any logical reason why they'd be decreasing.
Yeah, you're talking about the lack of barges and
Yeah.
tariff reductions, basically. It's a sign of the times.
Yeah, really.
That's a seasonal thing, so.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. Aging report.
So on the aging report, I just want to take a couple notes that Encore shows that there is a balance, but they have paid. They paid on July 2nd. So it's actually a zero balance right now. And then we have Henry Crawford and Kenneth Waller. Both are still have balances, and we've been charging them late fees. So I think one of them, Kenneth Waller, we actually got him on an auto draft. And Auto draft came back the first month that he signed up. So we charged him an NSF fee and so he still has that balance.
Okay, so we are getting funds that way.
Well, we were, but his came back, so it was kind of.
Came back,
Came back.
draft didn't work.
Instant.
Yeah, insufficient funds. So,
That's Kenneth Crawford,
Kenneth Waller.
Kenneth Waller, okay, yeah, next one down there. And Joe's is $434 plus $30.
Yeah.
And I
I
think
want to
that,
ask a question too while we're on this. I wanted to ask Jimbo this question. Hey, Jim, I know when I was on council, we discussed at times that our rates were really cheap down there. Are we staying pretty competitive with other docks like ours?
I haven't looked at it in a year. I think Matagorda is somewhere upwards of around 7.
And basically, we had collectively kind of decided we weren't gonna affect or touch the rates until Breakwater got done.
I know we were getting a lot of junky stuff, down here because they knew we were cheap, and we always felt like, I mean, we don't want to price ourselves out of business, but
Right.
we want to charge a good enough rate that we get decent boats in here and not a bunch of junk that people want to just leave,
Well, this one. The one we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
That was the last of those junky boats.
Good.
That's the one that's been there forever.
Yeah.
Just.
Because, most people with nice boats, they don't want to tie up next to something like that, honestly.
One of the problems we have to remember about this marina, it's not like we're Port Connor.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not on the ICW.
That's
So
correct.
Somebody's got to be wanting to come here. I mean, so that's a big negative, drawback, I think. But I know as soon as we got that breakwater done, which we've been, how long have we
They
been messing
started-
with that, 7 years, 8
Yeah.
years now? I mean, so as soon as that's done, we're gonna start trying to market the thing and try to get some people in here. I don't know, I guess we need to look at it and see, where we're at compared to everybody else. I know somebody took that Serendipity, that was that's where a lot of derelict boats went to, was Serendipity and Palacios, but I think the guy over there has, made a lot of improvements. That's not so much the case anymore. So we just, need to sit down and see kind of where everybody's at.
That's good. I mean, most of the boats look better to me now than they used to. I was just curious how our rates were doing compared to those. Thank you.
Yeah.
I made a note here to look at this after that breakwater's finished. In the meantime, you might be able to start, when you have time or have someone help you do a survey of rates and see where we stand. So we're ready to do something when they finish with that breakwater. Okay?
Yeah. One of the things I want to mention about these two accounts,
Yeah,
the corporate account, I think it will work itself out. There was kind of an issue. And Raleigh, correct me if I'm wrong, but there was an issue on the way all that hit. There was some confusion. I think in the building department, they didn't realize there were 2 boats involved. Am I right?
Right. So, but he has 2 boat slips, only 1 boat slip was put into the automatic draft. But from the beginning, he was told this could take about 5 or 6 weeks. So this next month is coming up, you should probably pay manually, pay online or whichever. And then he kind of just didn't, and so then it just took a while, then there was a late fee, and then it did kick in on the 1 boat slip, and it went into the automatic draft, but the other one didn't, and I have emailed, I have called, and he has yet to return an email or a call. And so on the other boat slip, so
Now,
that's why that one is,
so I'm not,
and that's Mr. Crawford.
okay. I want to make sure I understand this.
but he does have, he's set up with the ACH on the
Yes.
second one as well.
He is, now he is.
Right, I see Kenneth Crawford. Is this one slip that's overdue?
Yes, sir. And the other Kenneth Crawford it went through with the automatic draft.
Okay, so
And it's further down, it should be both.
That's 2313-15.
there it is. Okay, I see it now.
The other one,
Okay,
Waller,
Mhm.
him and his wife are in the middle of a divorce. And I had talked to her one day last week, maybe it was Monday, I don't remember. Could be, yeah, it must have been Friday, maybe. And I just told her, I said, look, y'all gonna have to figure this out. I said, we're not gonna let this go. But you know, somebody's gonna have to get this account from her.
When did you do that?
I think it was Friday.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna make myself a to-do note here to follow up on both of these guys, so we don't wind up in a.
But like I say, I think the other one will work itself out as soon as it hits again. I think we'll be,
Crawford.
I think we'll be fine with that one.
Okay, well, that'd be good. Okay, thanks for that. All right. So let's see. That takes care of the delinquent items. Go ahead, Ms. Brittany.
So the next would be the payment report. I don't have anything of note, on any of the payments that happened this month. It's electricity, water. The highest thing on here is an air conditioner condenser, which I think that was for the nautical landing. Nothing really high dollars, no.
Okay. Any comments from the members? Our next one is revenue and expenditure report. Significant there, Mr.
When you take away the grants funds, you're actually 80% of the revenues, which the goal is 75%, so you're still above the goal. I know it says 53%, but that's because those grants are being taken into account.
Okay,
It's that Parks and Wildlife grant. Mostly being taken.
okay, then we got this, our tariffs are dropping off too. So that's gonna start to show up somewhere probably.
Yeah, a little bit, but
Okay. All right, thank you. All right, now. Balance sheet,
cash balances are increasing, but I wouldn't suggest transferring any over to Logic just because there is going to be a interest or bond interest payment only in August, and that will decrease it because it needs to go to the debt fund. We'll take a look afterwards.
thank you for that. The next one is the Port Commission snapshot.
Nothing new to know. This month, nautical landings did not have a loss like it did in May. So, and there's no losses in any of the departments.
Okay, wow. That's good. We got two delinquent revenue guys there.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's profit and loss. So, does anybody have any other comments on the financial issues?
I think,
Larry?
didn't Mike McGuire, wasn't he the person that?
He was
suggested
following.
We do this,
Yeah, yes, and cash balance. Yeah.
follow up from his idea, which I thought was.
Well, it's a very good summary though.
Summary.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Okay. Not any other comments, Ms. Brittany, thank you very much. Appreciate your guidance and your work there. Right. Next item on the list is city manager's report.
Okay, I
So
know.
you got a whole list of stuff.
Yeah, the Parks and Wildlife grant, renovations, the nautical links, we have breakwater, their construction. Start work on that finally, yay.
Yeah.
Right. And they've been out there working, I have. Been out there, see how far they've gotten. The CDBG Coastal Resiliency Living Shoreline Project. That's the big breakwater project. I spoke with Cassandra Bernias, who is our newly assigned GLO grant manager last Wednesday, and she assured me that I would have the GLO letter by Friday. That can be then sent to Congressman Clown and our senators for their assistance in putting a fire under the Corps of Engineers to wrap up the review of our permit application. I still don't have. I don't know where that's at. I did go right before the meeting, was copied with an email from the Army Corps saying that, they apologize for the delays, but they are still waiting on the US Fish Service, wildlife service, they think they'll be done. Get their final report from them soon. Once they get it, then they've got to do some wrap up. And they said that they'll try to get us a projected schedule of when to expect the grant. I mean, not the grant, the permit approval, once they get the report back from US Fish. So, I mean, we did get approval, I think this may have even been last month's report, I forget. We did get the grant extended until I think it was January of 2027. But you know, we had originally asked for like March or May, and they wouldn't let it go that far. So I think we're still okay as long as this core permit comes in the next few months, because I know when they had applied for the, I think it was May, the May date, they were assuming they were gonna get the permit in December. So we didn't get May, we got January, so that means to be on the same timeline, we need to be getting that permit here the next couple of months, or we're gonna be, what we're facing is we have to have that money spent by the end of January. And we, you know, we can't do anything till we get the permit and we go out for bids and then.
Is this the one we talked about calling Cloud and,
Yes, but I mean,
well,
GLO promised us a letter that then we can use to send to them with the details of what you know, who to call, what to do. I still don't have that letter. They tell me they have the letter. It's going from desk to desk to desk for approval.
can we, kind of,
I've already told Michael Cloud's office,
okay,
they're just waiting for this detailed letter to do anything.
and at what point do you say, I'm tired of waiting on the GLO?
And, you know, we're still dealing directly with the Corps. Like I said, we did get communication today.
Yeah,
I mean, if I don't get anything this week, I'll punt and I'll do the best I can to come up with what this
Yeah.
is and send it to them. All right, like I said,
just asked Michael if he could call him and
and see,
find out what's going on.
details of exactly what it is. I mean.
Yeah.
I was hoping Jill would be able to give me all that, but,
Wow, okay, I know that's frustrating as heck.
anyway, but yeah, we'll do something. If I don't have anything by Wednesday, actually, I will.
Good.
Come up with something, you know.
All right,
Then the restore that we were talking about earlier,
yeah,
we're in a similar boat in that we're still waiting on TCQ to provide guidance on the response to a request for information that was issued by the Corps regarding the application. And there's some disagreement between Corps and TCQ. And we're working through that.
okay, wow.
That's where that's at.
Trying to get a eyesore and a safety risk and whatever else you might add to that junky barge out there.
You know,
That's a good fishing spot.
and of course,
Yeah.
you know, the course. It's always, and that's part of the argument. I think the course trying to make it a big deal. TCQ's trying to tell them, hey, it's not that big a deal. And they're like this. So I think
Okay.
the course wanting us to do a bunch of stuff. TCQ says there's no point in having to do all that. And they're going back and forth.
Okay,
We may end up just.
in the meantime, we'll just keep fishing out there.
There you go. CDBG met round 2, application for use of funds for replacement of the culverts under the rail. And at the corporation ditch and also the voluntary restoration of refuge shoreline. We were last told by GLO about a month ago that we should receive the GLO contract by the end of June. To date, where are we at, the 15th? We
Yeah.
still do not have this contract. I reached out to Cassandra, who's our GLO contract on this as well. I've also reached out to Shannon Longoria, who's our GLO regional outreach coordinator.
Hey, there you go. That's Mark's wife.
Yeah, to see, you know, I mean, I keep her in the know as much as I can, and she's trying to find out what she can find out on her side. We're at.
All
Soon, you know, there's a lot of stuff to do, but we cannot do it until we have.
Okay. Right.
We jeopardize funding.
Okay.
The Harbor Refuge Shoreline Protection, GLO project, there really isn't any new activity on that. Regarding the board's thoughts about possibly funding a project to install riprap along the eastern shoreline peninsula refuge. I'm sorry, but there really hasn't been any more movement on this yet. But I will put this on my list to revisit with Coast and Harbors Engineering soon. I think part of it, that we're hoping and moving into the next project, the MBMT grant for the downtown waterfront public access improvements. We are planning on putting in as an alternate a bid item to continue additional bulkheading around where Poor Boy is. And so depending on what that is, if it's something we can afford, that may be where our money is gonna go instead of having money to do anything, go for the Harbor Refuge, we'll just have to see.
Yeah. Now, until we get something to stabilize that shoreline, the entrance to Smith Harbor is gonna be a pain.
Yeah.
It's kind of a block for us doing much else over there. We can't keep the channel open. Anyway, go ahead.
So on the downtown waterfront public access improvement grant, the bid schedule, we split this into two projects after all. But the first one is going to be the bulkheading and the dock construction. That is, the first advertisement is tomorrow, with a bid date on August 7th. What I'm planning on doing is probably scheduling a special meeting, perhaps on the 12th. So then we can have a recommendation, so council can award it. At this, a special meeting on the 18th, instead of waiting all the way to September.
What all does that consist of? I'm not familiar with that.
This one, and there's two parts of this. It's a grant project that we got from Agawam Bay Mitigation Trust. We got $400,000 from them, and the Port Commission has $150,000 in the budget, and Economic Development General Fund has $150,000 in it. The project, there's a couple things that will happen in this project. This first phase, we're putting down a bulkhead it'd be the northwest corner of Smith Harbor. Up into right to the edge of Poor Boy's lease. I can't remember how many.
Oh, okay, right in that area.
Yeah,
There's kind of a sign there that it's pretty close. to where-
and then there'll be a small fishing crabbing dock and 3 transient boat slips. Okay, with a 10-foot wide concrete sidewalk behind it. And then next phase, we're gonna have extend the 10-foot wide sidewalk that's in Bayfront Park. It's gonna come from Bayfront Park where the crosswalk is now across the parking lot and then tie in here to this fishing dock. And then we're redoing the entire parking lot, incorporating green infrastructure with drainage features into that.
Excuse me, Jody, to make this easier, since we do have some new members,
Yeah.
could you resend that?
I will, yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
Everybody.
some of that stuff I'm not familiar with.
And then remember too, and I'll put the link in, I'll send this and put a link in, but remember, all of our projects are on the website under our project transparency button.
Okay,
You can see the plans and everything.
Okay.
I'll resend that, so everybody.
yeah, thanks for that.
And then the text truck route signs. Wayne was finally able to locate an approved vendor and purchase signposts at a cost of $10,000. We have not been told the ETA on delivery of those posts yet. So that's still in work. The parking area on SBA Steel property, the Harbor Refuge boat ramp. I did prepare a proposed easement document. I sent it to Anne Marie with some questions and some clarification, which I haven't heard back from her yet.
You haven't
Reach out.
heard back from her?
Yeah,
Right.
so I was gonna reach out again to her today So I can send that on to him this week.
Okay, basically, we're gonna offer or suggest a number, right?
Yes, we're offering
Yeah.
$250 a year. But the other details in these, it's a very basic easement document, but there was a couple of things that I thought probably need to address, and that's what I was asking from a
Okay,
legal standpoint, make sure we got it correct.
okay, all right. Thank you.
Then the TxDOT Maritime Division, Aurelia, has reached out to Emily at the TxDOT Maritime Division. And Aurelia will be TxDOT's contact once they start their 90th legislative session mission plan later this summer.
Right, sounds good.
So that's where we're at.
All right, well, thank you very much. Does anybody have any comments, questions about what's happening with Jody? There's a lot of stuff going on. Thank you very much. Next. Okay. That takes us to item 5. See Harbor Master's Operations Promotion Development Activity Report. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, Jimbo?
So we're at City Harbor, we're waiting for Curtis to sign his lease.
Okay,
His new lease, I don't know, did you ever get a hold of him?
No, I mean, he's told me twice, yeah, any problem with it, he's gonna sign it, he just hasn't physically come in here and done it. I did text him yesterday, I left him a voicemail, and I just basically told him, finances give me heartbreak until you come sign this lease.
does it run out?
Huh?
When does its existing one run out?
End of this month.
That's kind of critical.
Yeah, I mean, we got everything, everything's ready, we just need him to come sign it.
Curtis, are you home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hopefully there's not an issue there.
I mean, he's told me twice that, he wasn't thrilled, but he was.
Yep.
He was gonna accept it, yeah.
He's doing the same things.
Okay,
I think he's been traveling some.
probably so. Yeah, he's enjoying his senior years.
So the nautical landings, we've been messing with trying to get those 6 big window places south end on our street side. And Derek had just handed me a report from G&W, so we'll be ready to go out and try to bid this project and get this one placed. He actually just handed. The nautical landings marina. Horizon Environmental, they've been there 11 times since the last PC meeting. The water usage, I've been still watching that kind of close. I'll probably drop it off of this report because it's staying around, 500 gallons, 600 gallons a month. Which is the minimal, I think 2,000 is where,
Yeah, that's,
that's the break, that's the minimal amount. So our bill is like $42.80, where it was like $1,200 for fire.
That's a lot better than what we were before,
I
right?
don't know what the deal is with the meters, the new meters, of course, remember, we put the whole mechanical meter in there, so. Anyway,
Are we done with worrying about that?
I think so, I'm probably gonna drop it off of here,
Okay,
actually, what I do is I'll take a picture, I'll go down there and read that meter. I actually just take a picture of it and send it to Karen. And that's how we're doing the billing off of that.
okay, all right.
So let's see, okay, Derek Construction, they arrived on the 8th. The Dylan, which is kind of, I guess he's kind of the project manager, he's supposed to be down here this week and we're gonna talk to him about doing some work. In the marina, there's a couple of piles that need to be pushed in some more, and maybe also get a price on those three piling in over at Joe's as well, that corner.
Okay,
So I don't know that we're gonna do that, it's a little expensive, but.
Yeah.
We'll let them look at it and see.
Okay.
And then of course, the derelict boat, it's over, it's a big eyesore over at by the boat ramp. At the Harbor Refuge, and Manuel Rodriguez he's gonna take care of that for the guy, so that all, as soon as the tide gets up where they can get pulled out, that thing will probably go away real quick.
thanks for handling that, by the way. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I think it's working out the best it possibly can, or could have, we've had to pay you know, in the past, there's been a couple of times we've actually had to pay to
Yep.
take care of that, which is always expensive, you know. So in any case, it hadn't cost us anything but a couple of registered letters, so.
All right.
Of course, we talked about, at Smith Harbor, Jody had just talked about that grant, and those harbor improvements. In the harbor refuge, we're still hauling material in down there. LCI is, and I don't suspect they'll do anything to any of that material until we do that shoreline,
Yeah.
protection program.
Is that concrete rubble that you're getting now?
No, this is all dirt.
Okay.
There's dirt stacked.
Wow.
And we thought maybe that we wouldn't do anything until, you know, Matt had put that,
Yeah.
put that together. They're gonna slope that shoreline. And we're gonna need some material for that. Plus, the big cut in there where,
Is that stuff coming from the project over there? Also, the First National Bank?
most of this is coming from, yeah, Lynn Haven, not Lynn Haven.
Alamo Heights.
Alamo Heights, yeah, Alamo Heights.
Okay.
I think they're on the Third Street now, or
That's good.
I don't know that we're gonna have enough with dirt down there to do everything we need to do, but we're gonna be way ahead of the game.
Well, if you could, I know you're probably doing this, but if you can talk to Kenneth Lester. They were doing something with a whole lot of dirt from where the lax store used to be. He may have a plan for it.
Yeah, actually, some of that dirt has gone down there too.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so he's pretty much anything that
Okay.
he needs to, dispose of is going down.
Concrete or dirt.
Project.
All right, thank you. Okay, anybody had any questions for Jimbo? All right, we want to move on. Okay, the draft circular is the next item we need to discuss. And actually, Aurelia, at this point, we're talking about items that we're gonna take action on, correct? Can we take action on it with the wording we have in our?
Yeah, because I think there's general language that says,
Action items are all right. Okay,
if you look, right under the agenda items. Board commission will consider, discuss the following items and take any action.
okay. That's the blanket. Okay, thank you for that. All right, so we're okay to take action on whatever we got. So this draft circular, you gave us a recent update, right?
Yeah, this is the latest,
Right.
basically, and I would like to maybe just go through at least the highlighted things. You can sort of see that and that they're agreed to it.
Yeah.
Well, how did you send one? That is a copy. Right over there about into the microphone. What's this one?
This one right. Okay, all right, I made some notes on this one. Okay, go ahead.
So I think the first highlighted is on page 9. Payment of invoices and charges. All mortgage and dock usage charges incurred by a shipper in the loading and unloading of commodities port are due and payable to the city within. We had 10 days in there. I was looking at what Victoria had and others, and it seems like, there's 15 days. I think 10 days is kind of tight when,
Yeah.
they're gotta wait till the end of the month to figure out what they want, what they had, and then, they gotta pay it by 10 days, so Victoria has 15, so I just used it.
That's good to me. The issue is not gonna be the 15 days, it's gonna be getting it at all.
And then on page 12, just, making sure you got this right, under vessel repairs. No vessel repairs will be made to a vessel involving welding, burning, or other fire risk activity without the issuing of an appropriate hot work permit issued by a certified marine chemist and advised to the harbor master. So is that what we wanted to say? I think.
I have a comment on that one, actually. Getting a certified chemist to do that is typical Jimbo, that's what we used to do in the barge industry, but we always had one, or we'd go get one. And I don't know how often this is happening down there with Encore. Really have no clue, but I know they've done a lot of steel work and rebuilding of that ship boat and some other things over there that were those spud boards. So I would suggest that maybe we have a conversation with them and see if,
What about, didn't you?
No, I did.
okay,
They don't do, you know. And I talked to them,
if it's not gonna be a problem with them, fine.
yeah, no. It's not, and of course, you know, if it's just a deck barge, they don't, you know, if there's no machinery, they do not, call in a chemist. Now, if they work on a boat, you know, they had that little push boat up there, yes, they did, they would call a chemist in. But there's a whole lot of that top work going on there.
Okay,
And most of it is actually up in the yard itself, because.
Yep,
Uh,
right.
you know, I talked to them about, you know, with crude oil barges there, and it's like, no, we don't, we're
okay,
not gonna do anything when there's any operations,
all right.
cargo
So
operations going on.
good deal. So we're all right with the way we got it.
I think so, I think we did.
And on page 13, license vessel requirements. All towboats operated in all waterways within the city's jurisdiction must be operated at all times by U.S. Coast Guard licensed captain with a valid master or mate of towing vessels license. Is that correct?
Okay, that's another item. Have you checked that with Encore?
Yes, I talked to them over there, and what they're getting is they're getting an work site exemption to run those tender boats.
Oh, the Coast Guard? Okay, that's good.
So that's what they do with those tender boats.
Perfect.
So do we need to say,
Well, it might be a good idea to mention if, unless there is an exemption from the Coast Guard,
I would just put Coast Guard, you know.
approval from the Coast Guard to do differently.
with a valid master or towing vessel license or otherwise approved by Coast Guard?
Correct. Great, thank you. Okay,
One of the other things, I guess to get back to this hot work permit.
Mhm.
So Prestige, they do some hot work
oh, they do?
on, yes, and they're not getting a chemist, you know. I don't know how we wanna handle that. I mean, I know Manuel, he builds A-frames on that yard that's east of, Helena. He built, you know, he's got his welding equipment there.
Yeah.
He built those aluminum A-frames for his boat.
He's doing that up on the bank, isn't he?
He's up on the bank, yes.
So that's like Encore working us.
Okay.
I don't see that as being an issue, but if that boy, he needs to know, don't strike an arc down there on those shrimp boats.
Right.
Yeah, so just make sure he understands that. That's where the problem's gonna be.
Okay, see item 12 on that same page, there's reference to an exhibit D for a tonnage reporting requirement. And the last page of your packet is, produced for the D. That just, it's a guidance in reporting tonnage. We've got our email address and phone number, and that will be placed on signs, letting people that enter the harbor know where to call and email to let us know that they're there. And that will be going to a number that will act as a answering machine, basically.
Right.
It's not here.
You got that figured out then?
Yeah,
Super.
we're working on it.
Okay.
It's with our new phone system, it's pretty slick.
Super.
Then, okay, and under fleeting mooring, again, I just want to verify, we're saying designated fleeting mooring spaces do not in all cases include public access to adjacent land. Harbor master must be notified in advance of any vessels intending to fleet moor within the jurisdiction of the city, and the unauthorized fleeting or mooring shall result in a fine of not less than $500 a day. Right?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. You have more?
And then, well, then the, which this is what we've already, is already in. The charges is already in the rate sheet for fleet the mooring and for dockage. Then we come down to buffer fee, tank truck to vessel with paid.
Before you go down for that, I haven't, just a small item. Think about really. Dockage. But what I'm thinking about is towboats that come in here. They may not, are we collecting a fee for the towboat? Once they get into Harbor Refuge?
We have, and
We haven't been,
I've been working on that. I think I'm finally getting to a point where we're gonna get that worked out.
okay,
I just talked to, I can't remember that gentleman's name. With Equalizer, but I talked to him,
Doug Stevens,
no, he works for Doug, but he handles all this stuff in this terminal.
okay,
Pat Combs, it's his name. And so we sent him information, so I think this is, cause he said, well, we just get, those are just all pass through charges from me,
right.
Buckhorn. He said, I'll make sure we get this worked out, so.
Would you make a special note to verify that that's gonna be okay with them? 'Cause I'm not really sure what's going on in the industry right now, but if a towboat comes into the Harbor Refuge, my thinking is we need to be charging him somehow or another, unless it, especially if it's Gulf Mark related or.
Well, I think they should pay it. I mean, we used to have to pay all those charges.
Yeah, and if that's still going
I think
on.
both what, everything that was there.
And to clarify, that would, I mean, I'm assuming a towboat's less than 75 feet,
So,
that would be $75 a day or what?
Most of the ones that bring those barges in are probably close.
they're 80, 90 foot.
So they'd be paying $125 a day.
I have a question. I'm new
Yes,
to
Jim.
all of this, but why are the tugboats in there? Are they ones to be working with the barges?
They push the barges and normally they,
Why would you charge them if they're in there to do something that you're paying on that they're paying on the barges themselves?
because they occupy more water space, it's higher risk. The main answer is other ports are doing it when they go to another port. They have to pay for the towboat that comes into the harbor as well as the barges.
See, they didn't pay anything for years to occupy that space.
And I guess basically, I would like us to be doing what Corpus Christi's doing. And what all of the other barge ports are doing, Jim. They're charging towboats, and I think they are.
It says that, because it says self-propelled and non-self-propelled, so the non-self-propelled are the barges, right? And
Yeah.
the self-propelled would be the towboats.
Yeah, and I would, once you get done checking to make sure that we're not out in left field, let's put the word towboat in there so that everybody understands when they come in here.
Well, okay, hang on, I can put a definition. We have a definition for towboat? We can put a definition for towboat and call it a self-propelled vessel.
Yeah, if you just want to do that for clarification.
Yeah.
But Jim, you still seem troubled.
Well, having been on the council for so many years and having people, former students that complain or whatever, and they weren't in my district, but I always heard so much about Port Lavaca is trying to be like Rockport or Corpus or Galveston or whatever. And I mean, I don't think we're there yet, but I just feel like if we tend to be really pushy, we want to be the same as somebody else, then we're defeating the purpose, because you have to build slow and you have to think about the extraneous aspects. When a company comes in, are they buying food? Are they going to the restaurants? Are they staying at the motels? Are they living here? Whatever. And if we just say, okay, we're going to be like Port O'Connor, or we're going to be like Galveston or Houston, I know I had a guy talk to me the other day and he said, one of the things that you got to realize is that we've always had a housing problem. And we've got to take care of the housing to get people in here because he said, I would like to bring some of my employees here, but there's no housing. And so
Yeah.
in my district,
Come out,
I'm sorry.
let me just short circuit a little bit. I agree with everything you're saying. We want to be careful with a lot of what we're doing, especially if it's something new. But we're talking about a barge industry custom that's followed all over the Gulf Coast and it's a port action that's taken, and whenever commercial barge traffic enters any of the ports along the Gulf Coast.
well, I was talking more just a general thing about, about the Port Commission and the things that we do or should do.
Points made.
What'll happen, Jim, if we didn't, those boats can move from, like, say they come here to move barges and then maybe they don't have anywhere they got to go for a week or two. They may just stay there and tie up for dock space. But if they know they're getting charged for it, they're going to find something else to go
And
do.
that's exactly why we're doing this.
Yeah, because that's what'll happen. They'll sit there for free. Because they know they can sit there for free and they can't do it anywhere else. So
That's
that's,
an industry practice.
yeah.
But keep in mind, you're going to have to educate me about all of this because it's like, nous pouvons parler en français si tu veux parce que je ne comprends rien. I don't understand some of the things because you're going through stuff and I'm going to have to learn a lot.
Okay.
And so the fact that you'll have to correct me and that's fine too.
No problem. That's when I'm sharing this. That's why I'm
Right.
sharing this with you now. That's fine.
No, I like what Jerry said about the fact that if they're just sitting there
Yeah.
for the sake of sitting there.
Yep.
That's
They
one
will.
thing.
They got a free spot to stay, just like that marina. If we didn't charge down there, it'd be full. Because they'd all find a free place to stay.
So what I think I'm hearing is that it's not a practice that Galveston or Porticana or Corpus only
Right.
does, but it's every.
It's every-
That's correct.
Every Gulf Coast.
Yeah.
So-
No, I'm, it's the best thing that I say, go for it. It's gonna be learning for me a lot.
Okay, no problem.
I'll say one thing.
Yeah.
That, after trying to research and trying to figure this deal out with this, getting these, dockage fees on these boats down there. I stumbled across, and some of y'all know, some of y'all don't know. But Gulfmore pays equalizer $30,000 from top. To use that term, so it's not like another few $100 is gonna hurt you.
Right.
I didn't know that.
But we had.
That's for the shoreside facilities, storage, use of the tanks.
Yeah.
Share all-
We just went up, we're at 28. Year, do you remember? Cause we found a problem, that's maybe what, close to 4,000, Jody, a month, or 3,800, or
Oh, you mean on their,
on their lease.
I don't remember what it was, but yeah, we had discovered that the MCI had never been done, and so.
Wow.
That
I
up.
mean, so they're just paying us minimal compared to what
Right.
they're receiving.
And that's what we're trying to do is patch up some holes
Exactly.
that bring us up to the level of all the other ports that are having all over the coast that handle barges and boats. Yeah, Larry.
And I agree with that. The study that we base a lot of this on, as I've talked before, Rockport, tourist area, Pasadena, Houston. I think that study is not what I want to die on. I mean, I think that study is, they did it on the internet. They never came down here. And, and I think it's something that we shouldn't die on based on that study alone. I think that if we're really interested, we should find out what some folks around here are paying for Victoria, other places, and not just say, we had a study done, and whatever that study said, we're gonna do. Rockport
That was
has
a real
35
estate.
employees, and they're all picking up trash on the beach. We don't have 35 employees picking up trash on the beach, so it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's just.
That's a good comment, because that's gonna come up many times in the future, but that one was related to real estate charges and lease rates and those sorts of items. And I agree with that. We need to, bottom line, I think we need to be conscious of, before we make any serious changes either way, we should consult with our tenants and make sure we're not off the reservation.
I agree.
Well, I like what you said about consulting with the tenants, because I think that's one of the things that we need to be aware of. And like you said, if you're going to use a study that was done without speaking with your without contacting your tenant, you got a problem.
We're on the train. I mean,
Yeah.
we just did that with Curtis Miller and the Encore folks.
But we have an Encore representative here. No? Okay. The thing is that, well, we did.
That's okay,
I
speak.
think we've hacked away at this for quite some time. I don't,
There's still some highlight.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna go through real quick.
Let's keep going.
Okay, on, again, the bunker fee, again, just making sure. Bunkers may be delivered by tank with fire notification harbor a charge of $50 per truck is assessed and special for transfer of fuel at city port facilities. Make sure that's okay with everybody.
Right.
Okay, on page 15, even batting around whether or not to reinstate oysters, I did check. The state of Texas charges, tell me if I end up doing this wrong, I think I got it. The state of Texas charges $1 for a 300-pound barrel. Seadrift charges $1 per barrel. I know before we were charging per sack. I don't, do we want to reinstate a charge of $1 per barrel? I think it's what, 3 sacks per barrel? I think before we had said 33 cents per sack. So anyway, this is just, do we want to reinstate this? Do we want to use $1? Do we want to use something less than that? What?
Well, what's Curtis say?
Well, when he talked before, I mean, I can tell you.
He kind of said one or the other, didn't he?
You know, I mean, when we were talking, before we were talking to him, he was encouraging, the oysters, but to generate some money there instead of with the leases. And of course, I mean, the lease, we did come up with a significantly lesser amount than the average was.
Right.
It's still higher than he was wanting or hoping. Again, he had told me he wasn't gonna go whine to council or anything, he was just gonna go accept it. I think, if he were to vote, I mean, I'm sure he would say, let's not do this, but that's why I was bringing it up. Do we wanna go down this road or,
And we haven't had any discussion with, does Manuel bring in, where's his
we haven't
office?
talked to.
He doesn't mess with them.
Well, he does.
That's a big deal for
He
them.
works for, he works for Prestige.
Yeah.
To be, that's,
Okay.
and yeah, we used to get,
Remember, we were charging 33 cents a sack.
Yeah.
Up until, but I think
a few years ago.
it was a few years ago, and the reason why we stopped was basically we were not generating that much money. I mean,
Yeah.
we didn't
The
have that
paperwork.
much going on. I don't know that that's significantly changed. I mean, I think today we would there's more oysters than there were, 4 or 5 years ago.
I think so too.
But that's the question, is it really worth the extra
Yeah.
time and
So did we-
energy and finance?
Do we have a clue what the answer to that is? Do we know about?
I mean, I can tell you that, I think the paper, at best, I think it's gonna be a wash. I don't, it's gonna be a lot of time, energy, and paperwork to keep up with this.
Well, if that's the truth, I'd say just let's don't.
Maybe we ought to watch it here.
Yeah, I mean, that's-
Watch it for the next year or two and see and.
My recommendation is if we're not sure that this is the way to go, let's not do it. Keep an eye on it and
Okay.
I agree.
That's great.
That makes sense to everybody?
And I guess we can talk to, and I think Chris had even offered to do this, talk to Curtis and Prestige. And then we do have them give us copies of what they're sending to the state.
Exactly.
So we know what
Yeah.
the volume is, and we can make a decision whether it's worth us.
You could spend more on personnel stuff than you're making.
And
You know what?
make people mad in the process.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, thank you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay. I did add some verbiage in here. Took a stab at trying to come up with something to address this parking issue that we've been battling. This is what I said. You guys tell me if this sounds good or if you got any, suggestions for change. So under general parking, parking in public parking areas by commercial tenants of the port or by those persons fleeing, mooring, or docking in city ports and harbors shall pay $5 per vehicle per day. So that's, if you're public parking and you're public, you don't have to pay anything, but if you are a commercial tenant of the port, then you're supposed to be parking on what you lease, not out on the public parking spaces.
Where would public parking spaces be? Down at the Harbor of Refuge area?
By the boat ramp. All that's public parking.
Okay, so if Prestige is parking their cars over there,
If they're parking in that public parking space and not on their lease,
yeah,
then they
they are.
$5 a day.
Yeah, it might be a couple of cars a day. And I don't know, we'll see. The other end where he leases, that's his lease, is where they're parking over there. So we're talking about the boat ramp at the Harbor of Refuge, basically, period. Right?
Yeah.
I think this would really be pretty good. I mean, it's kind of hard to police this. But if we ever get back into another situation like we have with, who was that was in there? I don't remember, the dredging company. At least we have something.
Like hooks.
Yeah, at least we have something on paper we can, go down and charge for every car that's there.
And the $5 a day that came from West Side Navigation District, I think that's what they charge.
Here's the only issue I
How much?
have with that down there
Huh?
is
Go ahead, Jamie.
when they were there, the folks or whoever it was,
Like,
you almost couldn't put your boat in and park.
Exactly.
So if you're gonna allow them and that's $5 for them, where's the recreational guy gonna go?
they were taking up the whole back part of that.
Yeah, that thing was.
Either that or
That was fit.
it's just flat out not allowed. You just can't do it.
I mean, I think it's
And that's
better,
right.
I think it's better to have something like this. At least we have something to stand on, say, hey, look, y'all.
But I
are
think
doing
what Jamie's saying is just flat out not allow it.
Period.
And just say you are not allowed to, sorry, you gotta.
I think
It's there.
I think at the Harbor of Refuge, talking about 2 or 3 cars. I go down there every day and eat my snow cone. And there's like 2 or 3 of Prestige's folks that aren't there.
Are you going to hire somebody to go collect this money?
Well.
Or knock on the
that's-
window
that's
on
what
their
we talked
car
about
and,
release.
hey, you owe $5?
That's the responsibility of the newest port company.
We nominated you. You didn't know?
So I just put something out there and then. That's all.
Uh,
Gonna do it.
With Jamie to say, look, if you're leasing boat space, and along with it comes a little bit of real estate. There's people that I see down there could park over in the leased property. But they just back up there. Not really an issue though.
Yeah.
There's not enough people, but when those dredge companies come in and they start lining up, that's no way.
What did Anne Marie say about that? Because she was talking about people parking in these places, and there was some criticism that they're not supposed to park on that because that's private property or it's public or whatever. And I just remember,
Yeah, we can't, public parking unless we have some kind of signage, or, you know, that if you're, because if you're a commercial. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I haven't gone over this particular thing with her, but I know we can't do it. Without.
After the
something
fact,
in our- in
yeah,
our-
so basically, if somebody started again, then Jody or
Stop it.
police could say, hey, $5 a day for each one of y'all, and by the way, we don't want more than 10 cars there or whatever. That'd probably motivate them to move somewhere else.
Exactly.
You know, that might.
Or move them to the city, park over there where we have that parking area.
Well, then,
You know.
then get a lease with us.
Exactly.
All right,
I mean,
oh,
I don't know.
Jamie, speak up.
I've been thinking in my mind, let's just say this guy that's doing the breakwater, right?
well, we can always add subject to availability and approval of harbor master. That way, if there's 50 cars and there's 50
I'm just saying, if
spaces,
he had 50 guys and they all show up right there at the bayfront, park right there, where everybody puts their boat in and park. What are you gonna do?
Right.
Hey, I paid my $5. What are you gonna do?
well, again, if we say subject to availability and approval of harbor master, if the harbor master doesn't approve it, doesn't matter if you pay $5 or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it was
I just,
$5 a car for the last week and we don't want you. At least there's something there to.
What are you saying, Jamie?
I don't know what to say. I just don't.
Don't charge.
You give somebody an inch to take a mile, you know, I just,
Yeah.
and if I got 20 cars,
Not have anything and see if it comes up again, you know.
Maybe you have
I
something.
agree, something needs to be in there. And it's-
Forced it is.
Put it in there and let's see what happens.
Let me add.
If they hurt anybody.
Subject to availability and approval.
I think that's fair. That way, if somebody parking 50 cars, nobody can get in there. Then we can say, hey, here it is.
Okay,
It's not.
are we agreeing we're gonna charge $5 a day? Yeah. We're gonna put it in there, okay? Let's just say that,
Okay,
whether we collect it or not, something else.
Harbor.
Okay,
Then, this one, the last one. Okay. Here, a while back, you recall that. We added a caveat to the commercial vessel dockage monthly rates. That they were only valid, we could only charge a monthly rate if in fact it was for a lease of over a year. Okay, what I would propose to look at instead is, I mean, I understand that. That if you're gonna lease a boat slip for say 3 months as opposed to a year, that the rate, you shouldn't be able to necessarily rent it for 3 months at the same rate that you would rent it for a whole year. So I propose like a stepped approach, stepped rates. To where if a commercial vessel dockage monthly rate, if you're gonna lease it for up to 6 months, then the first 25 feet is $250 and each additional feet over 25 is $6. If it's gonna be for over 6 months but less than 12 months, then it's 200 and 500 respectively. And then if it is a year or greater, then it's what we had originally, which was 175 and $5. That way there, and get away, eliminate the requirement that we can only charge by month if we're leasing for a whole year. Because we've already run into 2 instances where people, they don't need it for a year, but. And so what are we gonna tell them? Well, sorry, you gotta rent it for the whole year, even though you only want it for 3 months. And then they're so desperate, they do rent it for 3 months and then it sits for 9 months empty because we're tied up with a lease. So I would like to be able to rent it for a shorter amount of time, but I understand to do that, we probably ought to increase at a higher rate.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm proposing. Okay, and then as a similar topic, since we're talking about this, here, last month even, I think, we approved a lease for an additional boat slip for Lencha. Right?
yes.
Okay, and again, it was under the understanding that we could only do this if it was an annual lease. he was agreeable, he signed lease. Well, he's now come back and he says, turns out I don't need it for a whole year. And he's, you know, he's done. And so he had May, June and July. So we basically have.
So he just wants to pay for 3 months and
Right, but he's got a signed lease for you. So we can play hardball with him and say, I'm sorry, you got a lease here, you gotta pay for the rest of the year. Or if we wanna, you know, if I work with him, maybe amend that lease for 3 months.
my feeling is Joe is he's been a dedicated,
Huh?
he's been a dedicated tenant for years. He brings value. Just, you know, recreational fishermen get, a lot of guys get their bait there. Like it is.
But what I'm proposing is that since it is, that we will do that, we'll reduce the, you know, cut it back to 3 months, but let's increase monthly rate.
Yeah.
So either
I
according.
think it's a good solution.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, if everybody's in agreement with that, I will go ahead, just do that.
Okay, anybody have an issue with us doing that? Gives us some flexibility.
We're on that subject. Has there been another boat back in there?
I think for one day,
Couple of days.
a couple days or so, I think from what I understood, they got in there and they couldn't get out. The tide came down or something and they were stuck, that's what I was told.
Were they in front of Lyncho?
No, they-
Behind the new construction across the street from me.
yeah, my understanding, they came in to unload something at the,
Well, I didn't.
And then they couldn't get out. Huh?
I didn't think they were supposed to come in.
well, they're not supposed to dock.
Maybe we need some sort of rule. If that continues to happen, maybe they need to pay a fine. Some sort. I just,
Yeah. Was it a commercial vessel? I mean, it wasn't,
It's a shrimp boat.
so that's a commercial vessel.
Yes. Yeah, and again, I mean, we can go and we can charge the daily rate,
Right.
but
If
again.
two, I think it is.
We have not approved, right, because we have not approved any boat slips in that harbor besides the one
Right.
for Lynch. So there is not an approved,
Right.
even if it's fleeting and mooring, that really hasn't been approved, and so, yeah.
Right.
I think that if you put a number on a fine, if it happens again, he's gonna pay the fine if he wants to come up in it. I don't know. If it's not
Is this-
supposed to happen, it shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, is this happening regularly?
We can get with them and find out realistically what is their need, because again, council's already said we're not gonna establish a boat slip. But if in fact, they need to be able, desire anyway, to be able to come in there, offload something. Again, we need to know, what are they offloading? For the restaurant.
If they come in there again, they need to talk to the harbor master and
Well, I told him, I said, you need to call him, what's going on.
yeah. They should talk to you and find out what's happening. Okay, thanks, Sue. You okay with that?
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing it up.
Can I say
Yeah.
something? Remember yesterday when we kind of discussed this, any of these slips, whether it's at City Harbor, wherever they may be. Typically, anything other than the marina, those leases have to go and be signed by the mayor. And sometimes approved through council, which.
And again, what where he's going with this, can we do some of these like we do the marina? If we switch over here and some of these that are less than a year, they're not gonna be like a full-fledged lease. It'll
Because,
be more like what we're doing. at the marina.
there's a lot of people that don't, I say a lot, but, there's more all the time that'll come and ask about these slips or whatever. Then they decide they want one, and then it's a month to get the
Yeah.
lease, to get the approval, you know, and then by that time I'm like, hey, you know, we need it now, not in a month, you know?
So anything that, but once we've got these set rates, and if it's just under a year, you know, by month, that we ought to be able to hand it to staff without going through,
Right.
you know, all the other, like the same as the lease. But the reason why these other ones work, because it's been, they weren't even applicable, these rates weren't applicable unless it was a year's lease.
So if we do this document the way you proposed it, that takes care of that.
Yes, I think, yeah, for anything under the year. Cause then we're just handling it. They're just, you know, you want it for 3 months, we got some paperwork here, we'll deal with it, and there's no official, you know, stamp.
Thanks for bringing that up. So is it clear enough in here that gives you guys enough? Go ahead to do that. If we approve this.
I mean,
Yeah.
Let me ask a question. It's gonna be a dumb question, just because I don't know the answer.
Wait,
Like at the city harbor down there,
Jamie?
there's no, at the city harbor where there's no boats at. You know, those are all tracks, right?
right.
So what you're saying is, like during oyster season where some individual could come in there and lease that,
Because all those are leased tracks.
Yeah,
They're all
so it
leased.
just stays vacant.
Now, everything's leased in that harbor with the exception of there's two slips kind of on that
There's
point.
actually 3. Well, no, the third one is.
Yeah, it's not really, yeah, it's behind scopes. You can't, you know, you can't get this truck down to them.
Does somebody have them leased already?
They were leased. That company that was doing that pipeline repair on the ship channel, they had.
Oh, okay.
That's where kind of a lot of this came up.
Yeah.
Just recently. You know, another thing we had maybe, and I don't know if maybe we brought it up last month, I don't know, I don't remember, but is maybe taking, you know, right there where, Evelyn's is, where the, Lynn's Bio comes out, maybe having a couple of slips there available, to lease.
So, I mean, that right now, we recognize we only have available for this month-to-month lease 2 spaces.
2 spaces.
Why can't we make more?
Well, we can, Port Commission can establish more, but we don't have a lot of real estate to do
You
it.
know, and part of, I think what's happened, I mean, there's been a lot of calls for slips for shrimp boat just recently. And I think part of it is, you know, Clark's, they're pretty much out of the seafood business, everything down. So those guys that had places to tie up, they don't wanna have places to tie up.
Yeah.
They can't find
It's
it.
all been sold. It's gonna become a private
You
deal.
know, of course, Curtis, you know, if you don't work for one of these big companies, you just don't have a place to tie up. If you don't work for Prestige, if you don't work for Miller's Seafood, I mean, you're pretty much out of luck as far as trying to tie up somewhere.
That's why, you know, I was thinking, you know, when next time Prestigious lease comes up for the refuge, we might want to seriously think about, you know, in that lease reserving or establishing a 2 or 3, I don't know,
Yeah.
dedicated shrimp boat slips along that dock that is not part of his lease. But
Prestige is coming up.
I mean, I think I still got another year. It's like
Yeah, it's a year.
March of 26. Yeah, but when we do that, then create some more. This is a brand new lease. We'll create some new boat slips that we can rent out. But it's not part of their lease.
I think Jimbo and Jody are capable of making some of these decisions without us micromanaging them. I mean, to me, if somebody comes up and there's a space, and they can come up with something and we won't do it.
With the party.
Yeah, I mean, why should we?
So I'm saying, if there was more there, you could do that on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It sure looks bad being empty like that.
I don't disagree. That's right. Sometimes we need to think about who we're leasing to.
If we got a
Not
demand,
not just the money, but what are they gonna do with it?
I think that's a good idea, Larry.
I do too.
yeah, let them
Okay.
have some decision-making power. I mean, they don't have to wait for 6 weeks, 3 weeks for us to vote on it.
Like he does at the marina.
Let them decide, and then they can tell us what they did, and if we want to change it up, we change it up, but let them have some authority to make the decision.
I'm good with it. Okay,
Month to month.
all right.
But Jimbo's been working for the city long enough, it would seem to me that he would have the knowledge to do this, handle these transactions without, like you said, micromanagement, you know, of taking all of this time. If you've got somebody that's here just for, you know, maybe a month, they want to know, you know, oh, well, I'm sorry, come back in 6 weeks and we'll let you know if you can have a month.
So that doesn't work.
And
Just let Jimbo decide instead of Ray, because I think he understands it well enough. And I trust him.
the last page of this is not for consideration of adoption now. This is just kind of a placeholder for us to think about. We will need to address it whenever we get the rail back.
Okay,
It's not, I don't think we need to figure that out now.
What is a manifest car?
Huh?
Are you talking about future considerations on the rail?
This is just a placeholder. I'm not proposing that we,
What is a manifest car?
those are, this are rail car.
Jamie, do you know?
Amy ought to know.
Any car and train.
It's just a rail.
It's got a built in on it. But if you're not gonna get a unit train in here, that ain't gonna happen. I don't.
Came from, I think this came, again, it's just a placeholder, this is what if Victoria or whatever. Like I said, I'm not proposing we even deal with this now at all. But adopt everything else, and then once we get close to having the rail back, then we need to really sit down and figure out exactly what we want to say about rail service.
Okay, let's move. You all ready? All right,
I move that
let's sit
we,
around for a while. Go ahead.
we've looked at this a long time. And so I would move that we adopt the tariff circular 1A, including rate, charges, rules, and regulation as recommended by the city manager.
Sounds good to me. I have a second. All right, Larry Nichols moved and Sue Trailer seconded a motion to accept the tariff circular number 1A as we discussed this morning, and it's dated 7/14/2025. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Aye. Any opposed? Opposed? Motion passes.
And any.
Case closed.
There's a few rates that we have mentioned in here, that have not yet been put in the rate schedule. We'll be taking updates to the rate schedule with council in August. So, I think like the bunker fee, and there's a couple other little things, I will reflect that in that in
It's
August.
been approved by the full
Yes.
commission.
Yeah.
Okay. Yahoo,
Amen.
progress.
Item
All right, where were we?
7.
Number seven.
Item number 7, okay. So item number 7 is that we need to review, discuss, and take action on our current meeting times and dates for regular board commission meetings. Floor, it's hearing discussion, y'all go right ahead. What's the proposal?
I'm out right now in short term, so it doesn't matter to me. Yeah, but if it would be more convenient for you,
Yeah, afternoons,
available whenever right now. So
Yeah.
later would be better anyway for me, but
3 or 3:30,
Or whatever.
3 or 3:30.
You have the floor.
is 3:30 good for you?
3:30 is fine. It's perfect.
Okay. I mean, how about you, Larry?
I'm good.
What about y'all?
3:30?
That's
3:30, okay, I need a motion and a second here.
Jimbo?
so the same day, just on 3:30.
Yeah, just 3:30.
Today's fine.
Same day, 3:30.
That'll give us an incentive to get through by 5.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
I'll make a
Right now,
motion
we're at
that we,
20
change our-
minutes.
I make a motion that we change our meeting time to 3:30 PM on meeting days.
I'll second it.
Okay, all right, Jerry Smith moved and Jamie O'Neill seconded, that we keep the same date of the month for our meetings, but change the time to 3:30 PM on that day. That happens to be, was it the third Tuesday?
Yep.
Okay, all right, any discussion? All right, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None opposed, motion passes. All right, we got that settled. Announced by the chairman that the Port Commission will retired to close session if we need to. Is there any need for us to hold a closed session?
I'm not aware of anything. I can report to you real quick that I did get an email yesterday from Hillary at Encore, and she said they are working on a response. And I should get it by the end of the week.
Thank you for sharing that too. I appreciate it. Hopefully that's, well, let us know how that
So
goes.
yeah, we'll have an agenda item in August to discuss on.
Okay, so there's no need for a closed session.
You want to go over your list? Or anything on what I need to?
We have your list.
Well, you know what? Can we take a brief look at it? Not on the agenda, but
Well, I think it,
Yes. so I can-
y'all have it.
Which page?
Port Commission Tuesday.
Oh, okay, yeah.
it can be under item 10, comments for commissioner.
Okay, right. Yeah, so. Let's just take a minute and y'all breeze through it and see if it's accurate. Okay, item number 1, hot work rules, we got that covered, we're done.
Yep.
Agenda item, take necessary action, we got number.
To-do list.
Yes, sir.
You know, this one's.
Oh. Should be the last item in your package, very last stuff,
Okay.
way at the end,
Right there, hey,
all the way at the
got
bottom.
that on that stuff.
That'll say to-do list on the top, Jim. There you go. She got you on there.
Got it all.
I see the reason for that, Jim, is so we don't drop items in the cracks if we're working on kind of a reminder.
Talked about.
Item
before.
3 is done already too.
Yes, it is. Item 3, we got
That's
Mr.
it.
Crawford on the watch list. Unresolved items from the previous meetings, harbor refuge and parking, we've got that under control. I'm gonna drop that off. Draft letters of support, well, Jody's got that one, that's to get the progress off dead center. Let's see, these are older items that I listed as complete. Their construction about interest in moving large halls, we can't do that, forget it. Future leases, the parking provision, we talked about that this morning. We'll drop that. I've talked to Gasper Deanna, the last time I talked to him, they're trying to sell that dredge. He thought they were getting somewhat close to selling it. And actually, it's gonna cost us a lot of money to put those moorings in over there. So let's just leave it where it is, hope it gets gone. But it is $3,000 a month.
6
75.
Yeah.
Is it 75? Dang, that's a lot. Well, maybe we just wanna.
That's.
change it. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna drop that off, okay? It's gonna stay there for the foreseeable future. The meter loop, that's still down there. I have a hunch I know where it got, who put it in, but it's not hooked up or anything. It's just sitting there. I'm gonna drop that off too.
Well, I think what we had discussed on that,
Mhm.
is to leave all the holes there right now, but we might need some lighting there.
I mean, we
leave those-
will. Once we
Yeah.
put a boardwalk in there, we'll need some.
That sounds good.
Maybe use some of those poles, so we double.
Good point. All right, we're gonna drop that off. The meter loop, we're dropping that off. The other one is the water consumption. Jimbo, you got that under control. Welder election attorneys, what the heck was that for? Sheriff lease wording.
Yeah, that's due, now we approve this. What I was gonna do is send, I have sent to Anne Marie and let her look at it. If we have any, because at one point we talked about going over it with a marine attorney, but if she's okay with it, fine.
Let's go with it. Well, let's go. I'm for getting stuff done. Orion Base, City Harbor, forget that one. That was rain fiasco. Harbor Refuge floating dredge pipe, that's taken care of. Appraisal district properties, that's taken care of. Alongside mooring spots behind Scully's. I think we took care of that, did we not? Boat slip rail, famous relative to City Harbor Miller lease. We're working on those right now. That's the Curtis Miller lease. And now the Prestige lease. Sheriff issue, we just covered all of that, so that's done. Mike and I met with his, the organization accountability. I don't know what that was about.
Work, oh, which,
Concern
2012.
changes to work commission, organization and accountability. He was talking about redoing the whole bylaws, something or other.
yeah,
So let's forget that. I think we're okay without getting them deeper.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, that's the fine line. We're not elected, we're appointed. I mean, you know, so.
Yeah.
It is a difference.
It is. This next one, item 13, we got that under control on the radar list. Delinquent rentals that per, I'm gonna say that's taken care of. Three, unposted items, balance sheet. That was, I think we've covered that. Jimbo Barnes cable, not, forget that, 16 is too expensive, I know we can't do that. 17. Horizon environmental knowledge personnel to attend the meeting, that happened already. Brush staging to county location and removed from city property at Harbor Refuge. Jimbo, can we drop that off? Is that done?
I think Jody was kind of working on that.
I mean, and that's the,
Do we need to keep focused on it or is it taking care of itself?
my thought is honestly, right now. We got so many other things dealing with. There's nothing, I mean, it's working where it's at for right now. Our ultimate goal is to get it out. To work with the county, and get it out at the recycle center and everything. It's just, it's in my mind, I would prefer to work at the pace that the recycle project is going and not try to push it.
Okay, the question is, do we need to be reminded of this or is it not?
Not on a monthly basis.
Well, let's just leave it off.
Yeah.
If it's important, it'll come back up. Okay, done. Terry Cox, that was taken care of. Cooking grease, that was, I assume that's taken care of.
I'm not sure.
Really?
It's kind of a mystery.
Thought the grease was getting in the heart.
Scully's supposed to give it a new grease trap, and I don't really know where.
There's,
Do we have any grease getting into the city harbor?
Seems to walk.
because the grease trap ended up as turning out a separate issue.
Okay, we're gonna forget that. Tropical storm dock damages at nautical landings. Now we're fixing that right now. Okay, breakwater's going in. Extinguishers at nautical landings. You got that, Jimbo? Janitorial costs, we talked about ways to reduce the apparent increase. Does that need to stay on there?
They just don't come as often, they don't come every weekend, they come once a month.
Let's leave that unless it pops up on our radar or something we need to focus on. I think the last one's was been taken care of. Hennessy nautical landing slip delinquency, that's gotta be gone. All right, that pretty well takes care of almost everything.
Send us an updated one.
I will. I do that regret it's just cause I like this. Hey, so. Next, let's go around the room. Anybody have any comments, Larry?
Well, Mike McGuire's thing was sad and he had a lot of impact on this commission.
Thank you.
I didn't always agree on everything, but
He may.
he challenged us and so forth, and so he'll be missed. He'll be missed. I do think that we need to trust these two folks, three folks to manage and worry about the bigger picture and let them handle the day-to-day little stuff, give them that authority without questioning everything. That's my theory. I promise you, I appreciate their work.
That's an excellent point. Thank you for that. Aurelia, Jody, Bo, you guys are doing a great job, and especially having Aurelia here. She has really jumped up and taken on a lot of stuff on her own. We didn't ask her to do all. She's doing.
She's scary. I can tell you, I've worked with her before.
Oh, really?
I think what Mike said is true, because I think sometimes we, even the council, taking over a role that was not ours to take, because if you hire these people, let's let them do their job. Let's have faith in them. Let's trust them. If they've been doing this for a while, they know a heck of a lot more than we know.
Good
And I
point.
say
Good point.
all the best to them and congratulate them and thank them and
Good
let
deal.
them do it.
Okay, Miss Sue, you got the floor.
I agree with Larry. I think that it needs to go on record that we appreciate Mr. McGuire. The time, endless hours he spent keeping up with things that
Yeah.
we didn't. And I appreciate the time he spent. He's a very smart man, and I think he was interested in a lot. And also appreciate it. On record, appreciate the time Alex spent leading the port commission.
Right.
Those
That's a
two,
good point. Yes,
that's all I have.
thank you for that, Sue. Somehow we need to get that formally to the council.
And is Mr. McGuire's visitation.
It's this evening, and I had, it'll be at Colonial,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
Richard,
6 to 8, I believe it was.
Yeah, 6 to 8.
Colonial Richardson, yeah.
So his,
I'll tell you.
6 to 8.
Yeah, 6 to 8 is what I believe I said at Colonial Richardson Funeral Home, and then the service is tomorrow morning, I believe, at the Church of Christ at 11. Yeah, but just same thing. I've known Mike for many years, and I know that he really put a lot of effort into the commission, and I know he'll be missed, and I hope that people will continue to pray for his family and his wife. She's got needs of her own, and so I know his sons will make sure she's taken care of. But anyway, I just think we all need to keep their family in our prayers.
Believe I heard that she would be moving to assisted living where one of the sons
Oh,
lives immediately. That's what I've heard.
Good point. Yeah. I'll just say that Mike's going to be missed. He was extremely valuable.
But I will say this, it was kind of interesting because one day I was at Walmart and I guess Mrs. McGuire had already gotten in the truck, but there was this guy walking she'd already gotten in the car. And this guy's walking, I thought, that's Mike. His son
Yeah,
looks so much.
he does.
That
Yes. He looks.
just momentarily,
Yeah,
you sort of freak and think,
Didn't know
he didn't
that.
die, he's right there.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how much Mike's involved.
Yeah.
Mike's father was my husband's chemistry professor at Texas A&M.
He was mine automotive professor at Texas A&M. Yep. Dean McGuire, he was a little short guy. Anyway, that's it. Miss Aurelia, you keep this group together. You have any comments?
Happy to hear.
Every comment.
We're happy you're
Oh,
here.
I'm fine. I agree with everything y'all all said.
Amen, brother.
All right, no. Jim, do you have any additional comments?
No, you guys just be patient and help me to learn, and I move we adjourn.
I say.
Dang, that was
And
great.
if you wanted to write up some kind of like official little note or comment or something from the Port Commission,
Yeah,
I can get it to council.
Oh, well, thank you for that.
that would.
I'll do that when I get home and I'll send it to all of you.
That would be nice.
So Jody, do you have any thoughts? Awesome.
I just appreciate all of y'all and, yeah, I'm looking forward to the future. And I mean, this time of year, it's budget time. And this is when my frustration with everything can start boiling to the surface, is I see all the things that need to be done, and it's just, and we have a finite amount of money and resources to do it with, but we just gotta keep going one foot in front of the other and just the best we can.
Well, I just have one comment for you. You have done so much to get grant money for the city of Port Lavaca. And I'm telling you, most Sundays that I drive by here, you're here. Your car's out there in the parking lot.
I've already talked to her about that.
At the end,
Doesn't do any good.
she's up here.
I tell you what, the city doesn't realize all of what she
She's
did
gonna have to.
for Hurricane Harvey recovery too. She did.
Because it's coming by on Saturday and Sunday to see her up here.
What's gonna happen is several of these grants that we've been waiting on forever, they're all gonna happen at the same time.
Yeah.
That's quite crazy.
You've been totally selfless to give so much time. Jimbo,
Good.
and thank you for all that you do. It's off the cuff and at your own initiative. We do appreciate it.
And his knowledge that he has of the waterways and the ports and all that, we appreciate that so much.
Thank you. Absolutely. All right, I'll entertain a motion to,
We got
You
it.
already
We
did
got
it.
a motion? Did I have a second?
You need to call a vote. Yeah.
Did I have 2 seconds? Oh,
I'm always the
I'll
adjourner.
put this down because it's being recorded. Okay, we have a motion by Jim Ward and a second by Larry Nichols that we adjourn. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Case closed. We are adjourned.
It's like the way you run these meetings.